Hey guys, Dave here, ready to help you crush the cash budget concept. Many points to be won and lost in this type of question on your final exam to managerial accounting. So before we actually begin a question on the cash budget, I just wanted to cover two quick things. The first being that the cash budget is not equal to the cash flow statement. And that should be readily apparent since the terms are not the same. The cash flow statement or cash flow statements are directed towards external users, so users outside of the company, and show actual figures, not budgeted amounts. So the cash flow statements are going to show actual figures for the quarter end and the year end, while the cash budget is going to show planned or budgeted amounts for your cash receipts, cash disbursements, and cash balances for upcoming months. So big difference between planning and actual figures. While the cash flow statement also shows sources and uses of cash from operating, investing, and financing activities. So the cash flow statement splits it up nicely while the cash budget doesn't. Now, the cash budget or cash budgets are used internally by management to plan for receipts and disbursements in case of any excess or shortfalls of cash. So neither are good. If we have an excess amount of cash, we want to be investing in some risk-free asset to generate some type of interest, so inflation isn't just eating away at our money. And if we have a shortfall of cash, we want to be looking at financing so that we don't run into a cash crunch. So the second part is that I wanted to just show you where the cash budget is located in relation to the master budget. So as you can see, cash budget right there within the financial budget, and the financial budget is within the master budget because, of course, all budgets are contained within the master budget. Now let's go ahead and look at a question. So don't be overwhelmed. This is actually easier than it looks, and we'll be running through this quickly. So in the end of these cash budget videos, I want to show you how to actually solve a cash budget for April, May, and June. So those are the months that we're going to be covering. But in this tutorial, I wanted to show you a sales budget and a collections budget, and that's going to actually help us achieve our receipts category, because a cash budget will look like this. Like a quick skeleton of a cash budget will look like cash receipts, and then we'll have cash disbursements, and then we will have financing for any shortfalls of cash or investing if we have excess amounts. So let's go ahead and perform a sales budget and a collections budget. So we're going to be looking at the budgeted sales. I know there's a lot to look at here. So budgeted sales we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at the sales mix. How much is cash? How much is credit? And I think that is it, yes. So let's start off with our sales budget. I actually want to do this in green. So I'm going to take this and we're going to look at March, April, May, and June. I just need to pan over the camera a bit so I have more room. And I'll let you know as to why I'm using March as well. When we go over the collections budget, you'll see what I'm talking about. So we're going to divide this into cash and credit amounts, because half the sales are cash, half, or not half, but 20% are cash, 80% are credit. So 20% of 60,000 is going to be 12,000. So 12,000 of cash will be collected in March. The credit sales, 80%, will be 48,000. And as you can see, that adds up to the total amount, which is 60,000. For April, it's going to be 20% of 70,000, so 14,000, and the residual, which is 56,000. Total will be 70,000. May, 17,000. I'm just going to start writing out figures instead of saying the exact same thing over and over. Will be 85,000 total, and June will be 18,000, so 20% of 90,000, and the remaining is 72,000. So that is a quick sales budget. That part is completely finished. Next, we just need to look at the collections budget. So the collections budget may be a little bit trickier just because it's not as straightforward. So as you can see here, the credit sales are collected in the next month. So our credit sales in March will be collected in April. All of our April credit sales will be collected in May. All of our May credit sales will be collected in June, and so on. The cycle repeats. So the collections budget, we're just going to express how much we've collected in each month of cash and credit from the preceding month. So we're going to do this for April, May, and June. And you can see why I also included March, because we needed to come up with Marches to figure out how much we're going to collect in April. So the amounts for April is going to be $14,000 of cash, as you can see right here. And the credit amount is going to be all of the credit sales from March, which is going to be $48,000. In May, $17,000, as you can see up there, and $56,000 from April. And for June, it's going to be $18,000 and $68,000 from May. And the total figures for all of that is going to be $62,000, $73,000, and what's the last one? $86,000. So we finished our sales budget and our collections budget, and now I just want to kind of create the first part of our cash budget, because that's what we're going to be doing over these videos. We're going to be slowly constructing a cash budget. So I'm just going to write cash budget here at the top and write April, May, and June, since that's what we're going to be looking at over the next few videos. And I want to include first beginning cash balance, so how much cash we actually have on hand. And if you look around, you can see that our assets of cash is $9,000. So we're just going to report that in April. And then next we're going to say the first part of our cash budget, which is cash receipts. And then we're just going to write the amount of cash collected and credit, which should be the collections budget just restated. So I'm going to put $14,000 in April and $48,000 of credit collected in April. For May, it's going to be $17,000 and $56,000, and in June it will be $18,000 and $68,000, and the totals will be the same as the collections budget as well. So $62,000, $73,000, and $86,000. And you can also refer to the collections budget that I prepared. So if I just close this and open this up, you can see that the same figures are listed below. Hopefully you understood all of that. We'll be working on the disbursements part of the cash budget next. Make sure to subscribe, liking our channel helps a lot. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any questions regarding accounting or any other material within our videos, you can tweet us at Notepirate. You can like us on Facebook to receive updates or to share any quick anecdotes about how our videos might have helped. And like always, thanks for watching us on YouTube.